This video is something I've wanted to do for as long as I can remember. And just to be clear, I am not the first person to do this on Roblox. There are several other really cool games that let you transform into a car. But I think the way I'm gonna go about it is, needless to say, a little bit different. So I'm gonna do my best to explain what I mean. So I'll start off by building the vehicle. As you can see, here's our vehicle. Yes. And then I'll take all of the parts from the vehicle and rearrange them into a figure of some kind. I'm not gonna lie, I don't really know how I'm gonna do it yet or what it's gonna look like. But yeah, it'll go from car to dude or dudette. The way I want to do this is through motor 6Ds. So like for each and every individual part, it'll have a motor 6D, and I will put all of their offsets into a library when it's transformed and when it's like this. Whenever you transition between the two, I'll make a little animation where the parts resize and reposition themselves. Yeah, you get the point. The only thing I'm not gonna allow myself to do is change the color or shape of the parts during transition. I hope that makes sense. I'm really trying here, guys. Also, I believe I'm going to make the R15 rig the skeleton of our dude, because then I can just weld the appropriate parts to, the hand, lower arm, upper arm. I was thinking about using R6, but there's just, the animation wouldn't look that good for a transformer. There's going to be a lot of parts. So real quick, I'm going to scale this how I want it to be for the transformer. Okay, I think that's fine. I don't want to do anything too crazy. Now all I'm going to do is make it about 7.5 studs tall. There we go. Let me see if this feels fine. All right, no, I think this is perfect. Now to explain how I'm going to sort this in the workspace, I'm going to have a folder here named suits. We're going to have the suits in this folder, and in the suit, I'm actually going to have a vehicle seat and like a chassis that is rendered non-existent when they're in this form, non-vehicle form, and when it is transformed, the rig is going to sit down on that seat, and that's how like the car is going to be controlled. And if you're wondering why I'm not just going to be putting it inside of the character, inside of the rig, it's because I've had trouble putting vehicles and chassis inside of the character. I'm not entirely sure why. It's like we say in programming, if it works, don't fix it. So I already know I'm going to want to make a sports car, so we're only going to need 4 wheels. I don't really know what kind of sports car. That's going to be roughly the size of the wheel. Okay, I think that's good for the wheelbase. I'll make it a little bit longer. Okay, so I had the wheels spaced apart the way I wanted them, but it looked too big compared to the rig over here, so I scaled it down a bit, and now that's what it looks like. I've placed the vehicle seat down here. I've got the root. I named the wheels, and now let me show you why the seat is down there like that. Oh man, this is quite something, huh? It's like a little baby in a crib. The reason I'm doing it this way is, number 1, because I'm lazy, and number 2, because I want to keep the rig within the confines of the vehicle. All right, we have our hinges, motors, everything's welded. Now all I need to do is test to see if it stays together. I do this with every vehicle I make. If it goes down the ramp without falling apart, it's good. Hey, maybe I should unanchor it. All right, now it should work. It's together. Now I will program a system to automatically give the player a chassis and suit and be able to transform between them, even though I haven't actually completed any of the suit yet. Oh, and I'm also going to make it to where you can control the chassis. All right, step 1 completed. We have our chassis, we have our suit model here, and it should clean up if yep, it did. No errors so far. All right, I've completed the transform button. I chose a very satisfying sound. Now I'll make it to where the player actually sits inside of the chassis and are able to drive it. All right, some functionality has been added, and I want to show you how goofy this looks. Oh no. Yeah, this might be a problem. I don't know, guys, but it's working flawlessly. I'm actually surprised there's no errors. Normally my code is very rebellious. All right, we now have car. We have car. Not the fastest car, but it is car, and that cannot be denied. And with the chassis I always use, I don't know why it always does this. Why are all the cars that I'm making recently able to drive upside down? I have added a cam part and weight, and we're gonna see if they function the way I want them to. We're a little bit wobbly here, and the reason I did that is to prevent it from going upside down, and it should auto flip it, making it impossible to stay upside down. Okay, I have greatly reduced the size of the weight. Yeah, that's still a little bit too floaty. All right, last try. I think we're gonna skip the wait part. I think it's safe to go ahead and build the car, starting with the classic Roblox rims. Also, I'm gonna make everything smooth plastic. This looks very car, doesn't it? It looks very car. All right, I think I got the overall shape of the car, the mold. I think we have reached stage 2 of car, and I am very happy with the way it turned out. It's a very mean looking car. Interior is finished. I did basically nothing. It's so bare bones in here. We got the bench seat and a sports car, but the car's finished now. What I'm gonna have to do next is take all of these parts and build an actual Transformer suit. So like I said before, I'm not gonna recolor any of the parts. I'm not gonna change their shapes. I'm simply going to resize and reposition them around our R15 rig. And then I will figure it out from there. I have a pretty good idea of how I'm going to make the animation work of the transition between car and humanoid. But regardless, I'm gonna have to do this tomorrow. Oh man, this is my first ever video that is extending into more than one day. Future What's Original, do a transition, or man, I don't know. Alright, it's day 2 and I have completely forgotten where I was at. We are at car. I just want to take a second to admire just how good this looks. I don't mean to seem like I am glazing myself, but I'm proud of how it turned out. Anyways, it is time to finally build the suit. And oh boy, do I not have any ideas. Okay, well I might have a couple. Start off by making sure the car's wheels are aligned with the chassis wheels. It doesn't match up with the chassis anymore. Uh-oh. Hey guys, that's a problem. I might have a pretty simple solution though. Since I use Motor 60s for these, I will try to change the offset. Okay, I think I pretty much got it. Guess the only way to know is if I spawn in. All right, we are realigned. I still cannot get over just how goofy this looks. Can I take this guy with me? Okay, no, you're just stepping on my face. I will go ahead and clone this model, put that in server storage, and now I'll start making the suit. And we're gonna pile it all on top of starter character here. Okay, I am genuinely intimidated because I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, and real quick, I think it's a good time to mention the wheels are not going to be a part of the transformation. So I went ahead and programmed it, and this is basically what I mean. The wheels are going to be a part of the chassis, and they're going to stay a part of the chassis, and they're simply going to be toggled invisible when you transform. And for once, this isn't just me being lazy. This is genuinely just how I want to do it. What is happening? All right, back to making the suit now. Okay, I assigned every part in the car a unique ID attribute because I feel like I'm going to need that. So I did this. My brain just wasn't working. I needed to know what I actually had to work with, because it's like having a bunch of random Lego pieces and expecting to make something that looks good. My brain is scrambled, but I now better understand how I'm going to do this. You know, this kind of reminds me of Build to Race. So this is what I've got done so far. I've separated these into different models, and as you can see, they are named the body part on the rig that they are going to be attached to. I've got a decent amount of parts left, so I don't know. I think I'm gonna have just enough to finish this. Some coincidence, huh? I'm not sure if the legs are too bulky. Change it later if it is. I finished the lower and upper torso, and I have mixed feelings about this. Of the endless combinations, I truly believe that I went with the worst one. But it's like, what else am I supposed to do with these windows, man? Like, I had no idea what else to do with them, so I figured, hey, I just, maybe it'd look cool to put some windows in the torso. But now it just looks like an actual Minecraft window pane with the worst texture pack, but I am not changing it. It is what it is. Here are the arms, and I did change some little details about the torso. With the arms now, it doesn't look so bad, and I am happy with the way the arms look. This is what I have left to make the head. It looks a lot better than I was expecting it to. I thought it was going to be way worse. Guys, I have completed the head, and you are not going to believe this. I accidentally made a cat hybrid. I didn't even mean to do it. Now, don't get me wrong. I think this looks good, for the most part anyway. I really wish I did something different with the torso, but it's finished. So here's what it looks like next to the car. Thought it was going to end up looking bigger than that, but I guess not. I like how it looks. Now this next part is going to take me a couple of minutes. Actually, probably a couple of hours. I have a lot of math ahead of me. A lot of research to do on the dev forum, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Not real quick. Alright, after about an hour, we are transforming. What I decided to do was add a models model to the suit model with all the different body parts, and there are 2 Motor 60s, each of them with a different offset. Down here you can see the C0. Number 1 is this. Number 2 is the car, and I got the car offset perfect, but I forgot the sizes. I forgot to resize the parts when transitioning. Before I press this button, just remember this is me testing it, not actually an animation. Just instantly transforms. All right, here we go. It looks so beautiful. It's so bad. Yeah, but you can see this is basically what it's gonna be like. And the suit doesn't look too bad on the R15 rig. I'm gonna add a third motor 60. It is gonna account for the current offset of each part, and it's going to smoothly transition the part from whatever position it's in to whatever position it needs to be in. Instead of this, I don't know why it's flinging the character like that. I wasn't having this problem earlier. I love this so much already, and I haven't even finished it. I think I've done it. Took me 2 days to get to this point. It was worth it though. I'm very glad I've taken the time to do this. The last thing I have to do is make the smooth transition of the parts. But first, I want to see what it looks like with color. Oh wow. Definitely not what I was expecting. Okay, I think for now I'm just going to keep the player identifier as the eyes because that really did not look good. I have finally done it. Isn't that the best thing you've ever seen? I guess I should probably go in-game and test it. You can see the camera shaking when I do that. I had a lot of fun doing this, and I'll probably add a couple more things to this game after publishing it, but I'll link it in the comments as always.